What if I told you UFC 322 didn't end inside the cage? It detonated after the final horn? And what if I told you the real story wasn't Islam choking out Jack's title hopes, but a secret fracture in the division the UFC hoped you'd never notice? Jack Della Maddalena walked in chasing destiny. Islam Makhachev walked in hunting history. But you felt it. The moment that cage door slammed shut, something was wrong. Something no camera angle could hide. And I'm going to tell you why in a second, but first.
Oh, no. No, Jack. Yes, turn. Yes, half guard. Yes, half guard. Okay, I'm stressing. There you go. Yes. Yes. No. Don't. This strong. Oh. Yes. Oh.
Come on.
The little wins. Now, come on, Jack. Just go. Just go. Just go. Yeah. Angry. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. 1 minute scrap. Yes. Let's go. Yes. That's what. There you go. This is how it should be. Yes. Yes. Oh, come. He did sprawl.
Islam didn't just win. He hunted Jack like a predator that already knew the end of the movie. 19 minutes of drowning pressure. 19 minutes where every escape Jack attempted died before it even existed. Islam turned the octagon into quicksand. And Jack, he sank inch by inch.
Much more dominant fight for Islam.
I agreed with you.
What did you think of his performance and the whole fight?
You know, not the most exciting title fight you'll ever see, but let me tell you what, complete dominance. Depending on what we do next with him and what's going on, this guy's headed toward GOAT talk.
But the footage revealed the real twist. Jack's face, that grimace, that clenched jaw, that look of a man carrying something heavier than Islam's top pressure. Was it exhaustion? Was it panic? Or was it injury? Don't answer yet, because you're about to hear something the broadcast didn't show.
Hey, this is where the fight starts. Can he stay down or can he get back up? I did not think this was going to be as easy as it is. Now it's just a question of, is Jack going to break? 3 rounds of domination by Islam so far. Jack doesn't look like he knows how to fight. This is a great night for me. Islam's going to win. I want that fight. Jack loses, Leon gets sparked. The only way this gets better is if Jack's nose goes the other side of his face. Look at the face of that man. He's the champion right now. Look at that. Broken. He clearly doesn't want to fight, coach. Throw the towel and look at him. He's about to cry. Grab his leg, take him down, and that's the fight guaranteed, Islam. Hey, done. Game over. See you later. I'm going home. Take care. Jack Della Maddalena versus Carlos Patches. That's what's next. And me and Islam.
In a moment, I'll tell you the one veteran who swore Jack wasn't physically right, but let's stay in the cage for a second.
I was shocked how he beat so easy Maddalena. It says what's Islam level, you know, he's in different level right now. He's on his prime, and I don't know who can stop him right now. The 170 even.
The horn sounded, the fight ended, but the heartbreak didn't. Jack's coach, voice cracking, soul shattered, dropped a message that shook the entire MMA world. No excuses, no anger, just raw truth.
I thought that Jack might be a bit too big for him. Pound for pound #1 lot. Unbelievable performance. I think he goes down as one of the best ever. Mentioned the White House, but I think he'll defend his belt before the White House. The White House is until July, is it? Elliot's been saying he wants to go up and fight him, lad, but you've got other contenders there now. Morales, Prates. You've then got Ian Gary if he beats Bilal next week. Shavkat as well, who needs to come back. He's been the #1 contender for about a year. The welterweight division at the moment could be becoming more exciting than the lightweight division.
He said he'd never been prouder. He said they didn't get the marbles. He said they dared to dream, and they dare again. Pain poured through every word.
It's so hard to say who he fights next because both welterweight fights put on a spectacle.
I know.
They put on a show. And honestly, it could be a flip of the coin. Like, in a perfect world, in a world of rules and regulations, the higher ranked guy would just get the fight. Both guys put on an excellent showing. But what actually happens, who knows? is anybody's guess.
Either you have Michael Morales versus Islam Makhachev, or you have Michael Morales versus Carlos Prates for the #1 contender fight. But then I'm thinking about that, and I'm like, hold on, if Carlos Prates wins and Ian Gary beats Bilal Muhammad, how is that fair to Ian Gary? Because he just beat Carlos Prates. Welterweight is crazy, and not to mention Kamaru Usman and Shavkat Rakhmonov are just lurking in the wings. I don't know what you do. This division's stacked, bro. It's crazy.
And not to mention, Islam just asked for a White House fight. You know, who do you put him against for a card that big, monumental? I don't know. I do not have the answers.
Yeah. And then he dropped the line that flipped the entire narrative on its head. This is the beginning, not the end. While Jack's camp stood tall, the arena behind them erupted into madness.
What drove me crazy is, of course, we knew Islam had the advantage on the ground. Jack should have had the advantage on the feet. The couple of times that Jack did finally get back up to his feet, he went for some sort of trip, whether it was an inside leg or outside leg or a hip toss. He was looking to take Islam back to the ground, and that just shows you a lower fight IQ than what we've seen out of Jack. I'm not going to say he's not a smart fighter. He's a very good fighter. But when you see a guy like that with no answers on the feet and no answers on the ground, but less answers on the ground, you have to understand, look, if you have the chance to get to your feet, you have to fight like hell to create distance. You cannot take him back down. You will wind up in a worse position if you get back up to your feet after being tired and beat up on the ground for a couple minutes by Islam, and then you try to trip him. I mean, there's footage of him. They were literally in the worst position possible up against the fence. Jack's head is on the ground, his legs are in the air, his back is up against the cage, and Islam's on top of him. Like, that's the kind of position you wind up in if you're an inferior grappler going against a guy like that, and you finally get to your feet and then you go for that kind of thing. It was just not the approach I would have wanted to see out of him.
And now we open Loop Hash 2, because the man who ignited the chaos wasn't fighting, wasn't cornering, wasn't even supposed to be near the stage. I'll explain why that was a ticking time bomb in just a moment.
The performance of the nights were Nickel, BSD, Pratis, and Morales. They all won 50 grand.
Well, Dana, in the end, a much more dominant fight for Islam than maybe we thought. I thought maybe it was going to be a bit more 50-50.
I agreed with you.
What did you think of his performance, Jack's performance, and the whole fight?
Yeah, I mean, you know, not the most exciting title fight you'll ever see, but let me tell you what, complete dominance, and it's depending on what we do next with him and what's going on, this guy's headed toward GOAT talk. That's not America versus the world. It's what's the best card we can build.
So could Islam end up on the White House?
We're talking about him possibly, you know, GOAT talk here, depending on what he does in his next couple of fights.
And that's the thing, right? What exactly do you do next with him? It's no surprise there's a lot of guys who want to fight him. Kamaru Usman, Shavkat, Ilia Topuria is calling him out. Is the Ilia fight, that's obviously the biggest fight, right? But is that one you would like to look at, or would you rather keep Ilia at 55 and make him defend that championship at least?
I don't know any of those questions. You know what I mean? Answers.
Yeah, I'm getting the sense we're going to hear the words White House quite a lot from fighters over the next few months. Islam is already calling for that. Is that... I think when we think about the White House, it's almost like, oh, does it have to be America versus the world themed and stuff like that? For you, would you be happy putting a non-American main event on that?
Dillon Danis. Wrong place, wrong people, wrong second. He mouthed off because of course he did. Someone fired back, and suddenly fists flew like the after party turned into a war zone.
Maybe there's less excitement to have to tune in on a Saturday because they know, like, oh, I can get it for free.
No, I mean, if you look at the fans are not stupid, right?
I actually think for consumption patterns, now, the fact that if you already have the streaming platform, you'll be able to consume it opposed to a pay-per-view model, I actually think that would be huge for viewership.
Way bigger. First of all,
yeah,
the ESPN Plus model, you had to pay for ESPN Plus, then you had to pay for the pay-per-views.
Yeah.
It was like $1,200 a year to be a UFC fan.
Yep.
It's $100 a year to be a UFC fan now.
It's fantastic, but just in terms of like the fact that there's so many different things to consume, and back to what we were talking about, like movies, we're so bifurcated in what we're consuming. The fact that I know I can watch the UFC and stream it immediately, there's no hangups, nothing in the way. It's almost like what I felt with watching football games on YouTube TV or watching basketball games. It was so easily accessible, right on my phone, no matter where I was. Yeah, I think this will be huge.
Security dove in. The commentary team went silent. Dana White went full nuclear meltdown. A lifetime ban. No appeals, no soft landing.
It's like, could you ever imagine that your career would be this, like, the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world? Last thing, you guys all come from the same place, extremely close. All these goals that are set out in front of you, to achieve them, to accomplish them. Did you ever imagine that this would be your career? Like thinking back to that kid that walked into AKA when you and Islam Mamedov had 2 different color shirts. Remember Islam red, Islam black, because we
Not black, gray.
gray, Islam red. It's like, could you ever imagine that your career would be this, like the #1 pound for pound fighter in the world?
I just came to AK and look at the wall, you know, you, Kane, Velasquez, Luke, and I thinking, my picture never gonna be in this wall.
Why?
I'm thinking, you know, I have this success now. Thanks God I have everything right now.
More than anything, somebody asked me yesterday, like, what do you miss about fighting? I don't miss fighting. I just miss the opportunity to spend all that time that we had in the gym, where you train and you talk and you hang out, the camaraderie. That's what I miss the most.
But Dana revealed something colder. He knew this would happen. He said fighters warned him. He said everyone saw the explosion coming, except Dillon himself.
How do you think Islam does at welterweight?
Who knows? I heard he's not going to be any smaller than Jack come fight night. But 55 to 70, that's a little bit different than 35 to 45. When your skill level is that high, as Islam's is, it'll be interesting if he goes in there and tries to shoot on Jack. Jack stuffs him and gets in his face. But Islam's striking is so underrated. Islam could put the hands on Jack, too.
JDM versus Islam Makhachev. What do you think about this announcement?
I think was unexpected was the relinquishing of the lightweight title.
They don't want to do it anymore.
I expected it in a sense because Topuria did it. People would have to follow suit, but Islam's kind of like the poster boy right now for the UFC. In terms of this fight, I'm going to go Jack. Obviously, I'm going Jack.
Everyone knows. We always back the
Obviously, I'm going
Aussie.
Jack. When I said at that time, just then, that was objective. Okay? That was objective. I think Jack has that X factor.
It does seem like Islam's on Twitter already saying it's time to be double champion and all the rest of it. So it seems like you are the fight he wants. Do you think that's the one that makes the most sense?
I think that a lot of good welterweights. Obviously, I think Islam's what he's done is probably given him. I think he deserves the shot if he wants to step up. But I guess that's not my call. It's up to the UFC.
I know you talked a little bit about Jack. What do you think he's going to be a hard fight for you? I know he said he wants to get one back for Alexander Volkanovski here.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hard fight. Honestly, it's gonna be. I saw his fight against Bilal. He's good, man. He's good. When he beginning fighting in UFC, he had a problem with the wrestling, but now he's improved because I see training a lot with the wrestlers, with the grapplers, and that's why he's a champion right now, and he's good everywhere. But we will see who is the best fighter in the world.
Next fight, who is it?
It's going to be Makhachev. I'm almost certain, which is good. I'm going to get back for Volk, and then don't know where at this point, but it will be this year.
Bilal, I mean, he was the 170 champ. Islam's the 155
But while everyone
champ.
debated
They're very,
legacies
very
and super
close
fights,
in
one
their
fighter
abilities.
stayed locked on
This
what
isn't
mattered.
like
Paddy
Islam's
Pimblett.
going to walk up to
He said he
170
didn't know what the
and just
lightweight
walk
picture
through
looked
Jack
like,
Della
or whether
Maddalena.
Ilya
I'll tell you what Islam's teammate said that nearly broke the internet. But first, this part gets wild. One of Islam's teammates came out scratched and furious. He said Dillon crossed a cultural line, not a hype line, not a promo line, a line of respect. He said in their world, disrespect carries consequences, and Dillon didn't pay enough. Even Islam's coach stepped into the fire next. Ilya called Islam boring. Javier Mendez laughed. He said Islam's control wasn't boring, it was historic. He warned Ilya straight up, keep climbing. You'll have to face him whether you like it or not. Meanwhile, the legends chimed in. Mighty Mouse said Jack looked off. Masvidal said only Shavkat can dethrone Islam. Chael and DC said the same thing. You could see pain written across Jack's face. DC said the father in him wanted to jump the fence and check on Jack like he was his own kid. In a moment, I'll tell you the one line from Henry Cejudo that rewired the GOAT debate. O'Malley said Islam could dominate at middleweight. Cejudo said Islam has already surpassed Khabib, then immediately admitted that if those two ever fought, Khabib would strangle Islam unconscious. Even Usman stepped in. Khabib didn't just win, he moved an entire culture. But here's the twist, you didn't see coming. Maybe that grimace on Jack's face wasn't weakness. Maybe it wasn't defeat. Maybe it was the look of a man refusing to break. So now the division hangs in suspense like a blade over a throne. Does Jack rebuild? Does Islam conquer two divisions? Does Shavkat rise? Does Ilya force a super fight that could split the sport in half? Or is this the spark that starts a war we'll talk about for the next decade? Drop your take below because this story isn't finished, not even close. Hit like, smash subscribe, and buckle up. The next chapter is going to hit even harder.